Hello, welcome to Chipola College Television and Chipola College Athletics. Have with me today Coach Jim Hendricks with the softball team. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Well, now you got on a new hat today. What does that mean?
We just got it's actually the new style. It's the flat bill.
Well, I noticed my grandchildren, they want the flat bill.
They do.
How are the girls responding to that?
The dads and the guys like it. The girls, they're a little different. But Coach Kelly ordered them a hat, and so.
Who is Coach Kelly now?
Coach Kelly is assistant coach.
Yes, well, I know that, but somebody watching this.
Coach Kelly Brookins.
Yeah, does a good job. All right, now, but the flat, y'all know, a lot of kids don't wear caps.
Not on our side. Softball, you don't wear them.
Yeah.
They'll wear some visors that we've got, but really this is for the coaching staff.
Well, I got a camouflage hat from you. You know how long I kept that thing? Less than an hour.
Somebody took it.
Yeah, he did, and he was a big supporter of Chipola College athletics. So I said, well, I hadn't had it on my head but once to see if it fit. And he said, thank you very much.
There's quite a few, and that's where a lot of our hats could go to.
Well, that's good. That's what they're all about, isn't it?
So.
All right, this is 2016, and you played a lot of ball in the fall. And how did you judge what happened in the fall?
It's hard to judge in the fall because we are playing the four-year schools, and they are better than us. But we got better towards the end, and that's what we were looking for. Our swings got better, our pitching got better, and defensively we got better. And then also it helped us find out where everybody's going to play, or gave us an idea. I mean, stuff changes, day to day, but it helped us.
Well, let me ask you this: if you have two third basemen and they're both really good, and you sit one on the bench, do you put them at the designated hitter so they can hit? I mean, because they both can hit. What do you do there?
We do. We try to really mix and match, see what's best for the team, and see who can. Maybe the pitcher's different. Maybe one hits a pitcher a little different. And there's also places to move them. I mean, you got first base that you can move them. You got the DP, which in softball is the DH. I mean,
basically
it's the DH. But and then you've got spots that throughout the game that you might bring them off the bench, and and if the other kid's struggling, you can possibly bring her in.
Well, let me ask you this. This is semi-personal. You had a center fielder last year that didn't play in the fall, and then all of a sudden she wanted to play. And guess what? She was one of your best players.
Well, and she kind of, and I don't even say she wanted to play. We just had two injuries in the outfield, and she was a manager. That was really focusing on academics. And then when we had the two kids that got hurt in the outfield, she wanted to come back and help.
Help the team.
Help for 2 weeks. I mean, that was the plan to start with, was just come out and be a position player and help.
Guess what?
And she ended up helping us throughout the national tournament, and she batted second in the national tournament.
Well, then she got some state recognition, academically and physically. All right, this is 2016. Fall is over now. It's for real lifetime. Have you got people placed yet, or are you going to find out this weekend?
We're going to find out this weekend, but it's still changing. Just like yesterday, we moved. We possibly moved our backup shortstop to first base, to possibly be a defensive replacement late in the game. We did lose a kid. We're still, she's at elbow.
Elbow. Oh, elbow. Tommy John's, that's right.
Tommy John. They're recommending Tommy John surgery, and she's kind of waiting to see. It's on her non-throwing arm.
That's great.
She's trying to wait and see because she wants to play on the Olympic team, the Brazilian Olympic team, or the Brazilian national team.
Will she get it if she plays well this year?
Well, and she's on the team. She was on the team last year. The question mark is if she wants to go ahead and have surgery now.
She can play on that team.
She might miss that team.
Oh.
Because it's during the summer. If she waits until after the summer to have it done, then it's pretty much going to project that she's going to miss Chipola.
Well, does that affect her catching the ball?
No, and that's what we're trying to wait on. We're trying to wait on Dr. Andrews. Dr. Jordan seen her this morning, and now we're waiting on another recommendation because it's her non-throwing arm. Just trying to see if we've ever seen it.
Well, there's a pro football player played with a broke leg. Played the game with a broke leg, and they won. I bet he won't get to play this Super Bowl. But, I mean, he said, yeah, it hurt when it happened, but right now I don't feel any pain because they pumped it up with something so it won't hurt. But I said I want to play. But that's different with kids in college. I mean, you can't ask them to do something unless the doctor says that's going to work. How's the pitching this time?
Pitching, and we're still figuring it out. I mean, we've got Ilona and Dringa back from last year. We got Madison Reagan back from last year.
Who has no confidence sometimes, and she's a great pitcher.
And she is. And then we've got, 3 freshmen that one of them's going to have to step up. I mean, that's for us to be successful throughout the, this season, the state tournament and national tournament, one of them is going to have to step up and pitch for us.
Which is best? The ball hit to us, or we hit the ball?
Defense.
We're
going to rely on pitching and defense. Offensively, our strategy is put the ball in play and run. We've kind of went away from some of the long ball aspects of the game. We do have some. I mean, Madison Reagan is back from last year, who led us in home runs. We got another kid, a freshman that is going to hit some, and then we've got some kids that can hit it.
What about the girl at shortstop?
Courtney Davis, I think she hit 2 last year. I see some big things.
It wasn't because she hit home runs. She just hit long ball every time she swung. Explain that to me, to be a parent who have grandchildren that can't hit it. They can hit ground balls, but they can't hit it up every time.
Really, it's most of your swing. I mean, mechanically, she's probably got a little uppercut. Courtney's got a little uppercut, so when she hits it, it goes up. And that's something usually we try to, we're still trying to work on.
She hits it long to the center field, and somebody on third, we're going to score.
And that's what the situation is. And that's what we talk about as jobs. Moving a kid from first to second, maybe on a sacrifice bunt.
Yep.
Moving a kid from second to third on a ground ball or a fly ball, and then scoring the kid on a long fly ball.
Well, in basketball, we get kids come here that are averaging 20 points a game. They don't want to score 8 or 10. They want to score that 20. And that's, I guess, in softball, if you have kids coming, they're the best player on that team that they come from, and they're used to scoring 17 runs to 14 runs to win the game, and then all of a sudden you got to bunt, and you got to slap, and you got to just get on. But you won it all last year with small ball.
With small ball.
How many home runs did y'all hit in the state and national?
In the state national tournament, we hit 2.
2? That's what I'm talking about. And some of those teams were hitting more than you and lost.
Yeah, they hit. We gave up 1 in the state national tournament. We hit 2, but there were some teams coming in with several players hitting, over 10.
Yeah.
But on the other side of it is, in the state national tournament, I think we stole, 65 bases.
Did we break any records there?
I don't know if they keep records.
Well, that's
team-wise.
why you need to start keeping one.
But I think we stole over 60 bases in 10 games, which nobody else even came close.
Well, in some sports, the best team always wins. That is not true in baseball and softball.
No, it's who gets hot at the right time. Who gets the right call, who gets the right bounce, who gets the right situation.
Do we have any rule changes this year?
We have a couple. One rule is the pitcher's got to pause.
What does that mean?
When the pitcher, separates, steps on the mound, she's got to simulate getting a sign from the catcher, and she's got to pause for 2 seconds.
Why is that?
To slow them down. And the game has changed to where, in 2007 we started the wristband. We kind of copied baseball, and we were the first junior college team that had the wristband that had play calls. Now it's gotten to where other teams are doing it, but they're giving the pitcher the sign, the pitch, before she steps on the mound. And what's happening is the pitcher's stepping on the mound, and she's never stopping, and she's pitching. So they're going to try to slow her down.
So you went for that rule especially, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we are.
Or did it hurt you?
It didn't hurt us. We've been doing it. We give our catcher the sign. We don't give it to the pitcher.
Yeah. Well, it's a great game. And, until 2007, I could care nothing about it. But when we won that national championship, now, buddy, that fired up a lot of folks.
Well, and we still got the video you got.
That's right.
We still watch it. We still show you recruits, and and we'll even show some players. We kind of don't like to go back to comparing teams and showing teams, but we will give them a couple bits and pieces just to fire them up.
Well, a great coach in the football realm already 2 days after winning the national, he had all the players for next year in the room, and a lot of them were coming in second semester, so they were new and going to play. He said, "Gentlemen, y'all are 0-0. You've never won a game." Is that the way you approach it with your team?
We try. You know, it comes up a lot. You know, how good are you compared to last year? You know, are you going to win it again? From day one, we talked nothing about the national tournament. We've talked about this team and getting better.
How many you got?
Well, we're down to 18 players.
How does if the pitching is good, you're okay then, right?
Yeah, the pitch is fine. Pitching.
Well, I meant about that, but 18, that ain't very many.
No, we try to carry 20, 21, just where we can have two teams basically, and we can inter-squad a lot.
Right.
We've had a couple injuries. We lost a couple kids, and you know, so the numbers are down a little bit. And then I guess today we might have lost another one. So.
Well, the good thing about that, if you're an outfielder and you've only got 4 outfielders, you like it because there's not many others.
Well, right now,
get to play
right now we've got 3.
Oh, 3. Well, which do you think is hardest to play, infield or outfield?
Infield.
Because you get the ball hit to you more?
Just because you got to think more. You know, physically, I think it's about the same. Either place you got to field a ground ball. Infield's a little more pressure because you got to field it and throw it in a timely manner. But also you've got to think a little more. Where to be, where to throw it. You know,
well, I like it when your catcher gets up after one play and there's whatever outs there. He tells or she tells how many, and then she's telling where they need to throw the ball if it comes straight to them. I mean, sometimes kids don't think about it till it gets to them, and then it's over. I mean, it's, in softball, you're on first base if you don't get the ball solid.
Yep.
They're on first base.
With the game, and I think the game's changing again. When it first happened, it was it was a lot of pitcher's duels, low scoring games. Then it went through a period to where it was a lot of home runs.
Bats or balls or
both? I think bats and balls, and they've calmed the bats down a little bit. The ball's the same, but they've calmed the bats down a little bit to where, like our situation, speed shows up every day. Every day you go show up to the field, speed shows up.
Yep.
The offensive power, some days it takes off. It might be a pitcher situation, but just some days, you don't hit home runs.
Well, do you ever hit a pitcher that's throwing it so slow that they're fouling it down the third baseline?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And we try to make adjustments with slow pitching by going to the short game more, making our kids bunt, making them wait on the ball. and then it eventually, hopefully it turns around to where they can square it up.
I'm going to say this to you. Every year you start, how's it looking, Coach? You say, this is the worst year we will ever have. And you've won the national twice.
Well, I've got fired, I think,
3 times?
4 or 5 times last year because of my recruits I brought in.
Oh.
And then we ended up winning. So,
yeah.
No, it's just and it's kind of our fault, the coaching. We try to turn it into a sprint, and it's really a marathon.
Yeah.
Which is good because it keeps us energized, stay on the kids. And we're talking, we talk every day about perfection. We understand that they're not perfect, but we try to be.
Shoot for it.
Yeah, we shoot for perfection. So
get better every day, and just get better every day.
And I think that's what happened last year.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, I didn't have the faith you did last year because of the small ball. I mean, But now wait a minute. Let's just recap that because we're right now into the show today. But we're playing Miami, and they were supposed to be the best team there. Had the best pitcher, had the most valuable player that they voted on before we came back and beat them. And here we are down 2 runs. Was it 2? Yeah,
it was
2
down
runs.
2-0 in the 7th inning.
And all you said, I heard you mumble. It's on the video. Don't quit. Don't quit. Keep working. Don't quit. Keep working. Madison was crying because she was so nervous. I mean, she was so nervous. But we got 3 hits. They made a poor choice on some of their decisions because they hadn't played against a small ball team.
Yeah. Well, it puts pressure on you, and you've got to, and that's where you've got to make decisions. And actually 2 of the decisions they made were 2 bad calls for them, and allowed us to score 3 runs.
Well, I thought it was because we hit the ball so well, and we.
I don't even know if we hit it out the infield. But.
Well, I have that one clip where we got the last out. First baseman, when she got the ball, she threw the glove and the ball up. Hope the umpire didn't say, "Wait a minute, she didn't hold it long enough to consider that was an out." But that was great. But you can't live in the past. Who cares what you did last year?
Not many.
Coach,
I mean,
appreciate it.
Thanks, sir.
Folks, you've seen it right here on Chipola College Television. It's athletics with softball with Jim Hendricks. We appreciate him, but most of all, we appreciate you supporting and watching Chipola College Television.